The Palworld 1.0 update brought us many huge changes, new islands, new mechanics, new pals, a main plotline and more. But there have been so many smaller changes that remain unappreciated despite how impactful they are. Most normal people wouldn't notice, so if you are as Palworld inquisitive as me, we should totally be besties. I'm Heather at Amalgamingle, and here are small changes from the Palworld 1.0 update that you might have missed. Before the update, players all felt the sting of having to either buy or farm electric organs from poor Sparkits and Jolthogs in the Golden Hills and Autumn Rocks areas, early game. So much carnage has been left in our wake, but thankfully Pocket Pair has thrown us a lifeline by giving Sparkits a lovely new work suitability. Sparkits can now drop electric organs when assigned to a ranch at your base. Players hit the electric organ resource barrier fairly early in the game, and our need for electric organs only increases from there, so this is game changing. But Sparkit isn't the only pal to have been given a new farming work suitability. Shroomers now drop mushroom and cavern mushroom, Foxicle now drops ice organs at the ranch, Depresso drops venom glands, Violet drops a variety of seeds, and Woolly Pop Terror drops caramel cotton candy, which is a new ingredient needed to cook different cakes used to initiate the breeding process. The update introduced a lot of new things you can craft and new merchant wares. You can now craft IV fruits, and I honestly could cry over this. Before the update, the availability of IV fruits, so life fruit, power fruits and stout fruits, was pretty mean. For those that don't know, IV fruits increase a pal's potential stats that can be viewed with the ability glasses technology, and these are the pal's IVs basically. The higher these numerical values are, the higher a pal's corresponding stats will be. The most reliable pre-1.0 way to gain IV fruits was to farm a ridiculous amount of dog coins and then buy them off meadow merchants, but no more. Providing we have the correct materials, we can craft them at assembly lines and bump up the stats of our favourite pals, and use the new radiant gems to unlock a pal's true potential, meaning it further boosts its attack and defence stats and gets a lovely new golden glow. Now that we don't have to buy IV fruits from meadow merchants, the best thing they now have to offer is work suitability technique books that bump up a pal's corresponding work suitability level by 1 in exchange for 300 dog coins each. This is amazing. Previously, gaining these books was a lot harder and you had to scour the world for them, but now you can just farm dog coins and buy them. The only other thing I want to mention about merchants is that there is now a wider selection of pal hats. You can buy a Tarantris hat, a Jelliet hat and even a Chiquipi hat, because why not? The crafting requirements for some things have changed. Some structures now demand less resources to craft, such as the stone pit, which originally demanded 100 stone, 100 wood and 50 paldium, which has slowly decreased over time. The introduction of new resources and materials, such as biocontainers, wooden planks and AI cores, has tweaked the requirements of crafting certain things. But thankfully structures already built within bases remain, rather than being disassembled until us old-timers catch up. The amount of PAL sacrifices required to fully condense a PAL in the PAL Essence Condenser has also massively decreased. Before 1.0 you needed a total of 116 PALs of the same species to fully max out a single PAL to level 4 star rank, which was completely necessary when taking on the hardest challenges in the game. Now I think you only need 48 in total. Kids these days don't know how easy they have it. So many hours wasted making cake and breeding hundreds of pals. Should have waited for 1.0. Arguably one of the best things that has changed in Palworld is the new emphasis on PAL team synergies. What I mean by this is that a lot of PAL partner skills now impact other pals in your party or at your base. Some partner skills make it so that a pal's stats increase with every pal of the same type in the party. Some boost the attack of specific PAL types in the party, some bump up base PAL work suitability levels, and other partner skills are more unique. This is a brilliant new feature in the game which encourages different PAL party loadouts, and ensuring members of the party complement each other. You can seriously create overpowered teams by utilising these synergies. Similarly, you can create a truly efficient, speedy team of base workers by having pals that complement each other working together. A good example of this is Sekhmet's partner skill, which boosts Anubis' work speed when they are both working together. Another example is having an overpowered Eidolon by having a team of Dark and Dragon type pals that have Dark type attack boosting partner skills, and will also complement Eidolon's partner skill, Liberated Pterosaur. You can also use team synergies to increase item drop rates and even make fishing easier and more rewarding. This one has definitely gone mostly unnoticed. We all know that the aquatic construction kit that allows you to build on water now exists. While this is a brilliant new feature that everyone wanted, did you know that this kit also makes it so that you can build on lava? Now you can create some truly evil lair style bases atop pits of lava, and it's so awesome. Short entry this one, but definitely worth mentioning. Everyone is aware of the existence of egg mutations now, which occurs randomly and can hatch an egg with top tier passives in a pal unrelated to the chosen parents. But did you know that you can now cook different kinds of cakes to increase the likelihood of mutations occurring? There is even a cake that doubles egg output and increases the likelihood of eggs containing pals with better passives. Having these means of slightly influencing the breeding process does help, especially when paired with Philanthropy's passives in the parents and Braloha's partner skill Balmy Weather, which speeds up egg production. Casual players might not have noticed this, but Pocket Pair have changed or moved a lot of the field alpha bosses and changed some place names. For example, the Twilight Dunes are now called the Anubis Dunes. But perhaps most significantly, they have tweaked some pal natural habitats. The reason this is so significant is that some pals no longer spawn in the wild where they previously would, and you can now encounter other pals in places you previously wouldn't. For example, you no longer have to wait until you get to Fort's ruins to encounter Tephants and Croagero. They are now roaming around the Windswept Hills Plateau of Beginnings, now called the Hill of Beginnings, and Grassy Behemoth Hills. Of course, the pal spawn locations have changed to accommodate the new pals introduced, but it does make it so that Palworld veterans who have been there from day one feel a little disoriented. Before the update in June, if we wanted a pal to have specific pal skills, then the only ways to do this would be to find a pal that already has the skill we want, breed down the passives onto a child, or use the pal surgery table, which didn't have all the passives available anyway. You could buy a handful of implants at the arena merchant in exchange for battle tickets, and a bounty merchant in exchange for successful bounty tokens, but the rainbow passives were never available. Now, disposable implants have changed all of this. The disposable implants are single-use but permanent passive skills you can give to pals at the pal surgery table. Disposable implants can be gained by placing ancient relics found in the world tree inside the new ancient relic recycler. This generates a loot pool that contains disposable implants. The final small but very significant change is the new ability to rename chests. Oh my goodness, some people might not care, but I am so happy to be able to ditch all of my signs in favour of naming my storage directly. Sometimes it's nice to have clear signage, but bases look so much neater without them. The quick storage option is also an excellent addition, alongside the ability to now paint chests and the item retrieval unit to match your base decor. Of course, there are other game-changing things that have been added, such as the Ancient Materials Synthesizer, which acts as a quarry that produces all kinds of ores, including paldium, chromite and corallum. Game-changing, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Pocket Pair. Anyways, let me know in the comments if you have discovered any other small changes that I might have missed. I've been Heather at Amalgamingle, and thank you very much for watching.